I'm sitting here waiting for a phone call. I think that's something we spend a lot of our lives doing, waiting for something to happen, anticipating this. And if it happens, well, life will be all different and maybe better. We just spend so much time in a sort of limbo, waiting for the repair person, waiting for a phone call, waiting for sometimes this day to be over. And so instead of just sitting here being in this sort of limbo, I thought I would talk with you about life and how bizarre life can be. It's like if the phone call comes, I'll get interrupted. And so, oh my goodness, I don't want to start anything. Well, maybe the phone call won't come. Maybe I can actually stop what I'm doing in the midst of it. But no, I'm going to stop everything I'm doing so that I don't have to stop if the phone call comes in. Now, I don't think that in this instance I'm any stranger than anyone else, but who's to say? And that leads me to something I was thinking about a little earlier, which is nonconformity. And yes, this is a podcast about nonconformity in a lot of ways, but I'm thinking about that. And yes, I am different. We all feel different, or sometimes people feel different, but they package themselves as if they are the same. But in this case, I'm packaging myself as if I am different. And who knows, maybe I actually am very similar. So that's another one of life's paradoxes that I could have sat and considered while I was waiting for the phone call, rather than doing something diabolical, which is doing something in which I might be interrupted. But at any rate, I'm wondering, I've been told that, that I was different or eccentric, whatever that word might mean, most of my life. And I've also made an effort not to look so what I thought was cookie cutterish in my life. And so that seemed to me to be like an act of independence, to be a few standard deviations away from the norm meant I was independent of having to seem like the norm. But you know what? I'm wondering if I'm independent at all, because now I almost confine myself to a narrow range of behaviors, which is away from the norm, and appearing to be somewhat unparticipatory in it. So is that independence? I'm not actually sure. I think the people who want to look bohemian or whatever think it is, and that part of themselves that really wants to express that wishes they were doing it or appreciates it or longs to do it. But I have to wonder, am I really any different? Am I establishing a new norm, or am I just acting like the norm of people who are not a part of the norm? I mean, really, who's to say? Well, I'm getting ready to anticipate this phone call and to stop everything so I can fully devote myself to that. And as you may have heard, I did not get a phone call, but I got an email, so perhaps I can read the email and consider it while I'm awaiting. But again, I'm questioning again, what is the norm? Is the norm something that's recognizable to others? And if so, to how many others? Is a norm just one other person? Is the norm just one person? Does it have to be a country or a city or a type of way of being or an age group? What is that? And am I ever independent of it? Am I just creating new ways to be similar to someone? And if so, maybe it's time to make friends with a norm and just let it be at that. Well, as I've said, the phone call is on its way, or maybe it'll never reach me, but I'm going to devote myself to being in limbo until, of course, my attention is diverted by something else, and there you have it. I guess I'm not all that good at waiting, but I don't know. Is anybody?